Welcome to Hallway Ski Reviews. I'm Nathan, and today we're going to do a comparison. The comparison being a Blizzard Rustler 9 and a Nordica Unleashed 98. So these are fun skis. I've spent quite a bit of time on both of these now, and Blizzard and Nordica are sister companies, so there's going to be some similarities here. I feel like that's kind of a given. The base angle, the edge angles, all that kind of stuff is the same. They're both a poplar beech wood core. They both have a variation of metal. This is flux form, and this is terrain specific metal from the Santa Ana series. And they kind of fill a similar spot on the mountain, the rocker shape. So the rocker shape is probably the most different thing in the whole ski. So rocker in the front on the Nordica starts there. Rocker in the front on the Rustler 9 is right about there. So drastically different tips shape as far as, rocker profile. And then the tails are kind of similar. The tails also have, some deviation in shape there. I'm gonna flip these both over real quick. So looking at the tails, there's, it's not staying together, but you can kind of see the rocker's a little lower and longer on this one. And then this guy, it's short, and it actually has more splay on the Nordica, but it starts later. And those are largely the biggest differences in these two skis is the shape of the tips, which is really interesting. Shape of the tips and the tails as far as the rocker profile goes. So one of the differences in these two skis is the flex pattern. So the flex pattern of the Rustler 9 is a little bit softer feeling when you hand flex it, but this ski actually feels surprisingly stiff when you get it on snow, and you can actually lean into it pretty good and really pressure the tip on this thing and create some very fun dynamic carving. And you can make it short too. It's this is the 180 length, and it's a 17-meter radius, and it's kind of lightweight. I've kind of joked with this ski as calling it a baby of the Elan ripsticks and the Nordica Enforcer 104 Free. It kind of has this fun, strong on edge personality like the 104 Free, and it has this easy carvability like the Elan ripsticks. I'm specifically thinking of the 88. It feels a little skinnier when you're carving than it actually is, and it's 96 underfoot, and it feels like a 92 underfoot ski when you're carving, which is pretty cool. And then but it also kind of has a almost jittery property as far as it kind of like flapping around and getting knocked around. It has kind of a lightweight ski feel, and that's part of the reason why I think of it as a Elan ripstick-esque feel. But it's a very dynamic carver and very fun. Obviously the smoother the groomers the better, but super fun, excellent carver. And then as far as carving for the Unleashed 98, this has got to be one of the best carving skis in this width that I have ever been on. It's and especially for a twin tip, like it's silly to think that a twin tip can carve as well as this. And every time I get on it, I'm just kind of blown away how much fun it is, and how fun it just to lay it over on edge and see how high up on the angles you can get. And it it does pretty well in chop, like soft spring conditions. This tip shape and this build does really well. Firmer chop, it does get knocked around, similar to the Rustler 9, and kind of you know, it kind of, you know, wanders if you're flat base. But anything, you know, short of ice, this thing will hook up and carve, and it's just very fun, very dynamic, and it kind of has more of a trenching personality, whereas this kind of has more of a on the surface, sharp edges, edge hold, and then, you know, dig in and trench personality. So that's one difference in, you know, how they feel on snow in a carving, you know, performance. As far as soft snow, you know, I wouldn't call either one of these a powder ski. Nordica calls this their powder rocker. I wouldn't say this is my favorite powder shape. It does fine. It, you know, like 6 inches or less fresh snow, this thing is great. Anything more than that, you know, and maybe that's kind of width dependent. It's only 98 underfoot, but it does kind of get swallowed, and it does tend to kind of cut into the snow. You know, that same trenching personality that you get from on-piste carving, it also goes over to soft snow, and it kind of wants to cut and dig in. Whereas this guy, the Rustler 9, just its longer rocker profile, I think lends to kind of a more slarvy, you know, floaty feeling. And I actually think, even though this is 2 millimeters skinnier underfoot, I think this is a better, you know, soft snow ski than the Unleashed 98 by a little bit. It is pretty fun in soft snow. Mogul performance, they're both very good Mogul skis. The Rustler 9 probably being a little bit easier in moguls, and the Nordica Unleashed being a little bit more difficult in, just because the tail is a little catchier. It's probably the longer camber profile of this ski versus the longer rocker of this ski. It does very, very well, and I actually really like this ski in moguls and, you know, a lot of off-piste conditions. I really like it in steep conditions, just because the edge hold and the longer camber does give you lots of control and lots of edge grip. The Rustler 9 is easier to ski on, though. It is easier to kind of slarve around and move around and toss around. The edges are sharp, and there is lots of edge grip, but, you know, it's not as catchy. You know, there's more rocker length in the back and in the front, so there's less effective edge actually touching the snow, which I think is why it, you know, is just easier to move around and less catchy than the Unleashed. You know, they're both extremely fun skis. They both carve extremely well. They do decent for the width, you know, in soft snow, and their off-piste performance is really, really good. Picking either one of these skis for, you know, kind of an all mountain one ski quiver, whatever you want, like daily driver, whatever you want to call it, either one of these skis is a great choice, as long as you're looking for something that isn't extremely damp, because neither one of these skis are extremely damp. They both kind of wander and get knocked around a little bit. I think you know, my knees are a little sore after skiing these guys if the conditions are too rough, because you tend to just get a lot of movement out of the ski that, you know, a heavier ski like the Unleashed or the Nordica Enforcer 104 Free, like, ski's big, heavy, but I'm not tired from the skis getting knocked around like I am these. I'm tired because I'm throwing the weight around. These, I'm tired because you're kind of like clenching your legs and trying to keep them in place and always pushing the ski back in place. But they're both really, really, really good skis if you're looking for something that isn't crazy damp, is easy to maneuver on, and does a wide variety of things out on the mountain. Both amazing choices, and, you know, really excellent skis for, you know, anywhere on the mountain. I would say, you know, this ski is maybe a intermediate skier could get on this and have a great time. The Unleashed has a little bit higher, you know, at least upper intermediate to be able to get on the Unleashed and like it, just because the tails are a little bit catchier in off-piste conditions. If you're not going off-piste, you know, obviously you'd have a blast just, you know, cruising around on groomers and carving these things. They both, you know, slide and slarve and maneuver really, really well. But if you're looking to go off-piste and you're a, you know, beginner intermediate skier, Rustler 9 is probably the better choice. If you're looking for, you know, a more trenching style of carving, this guy would be a better choice. You really couldn't go wrong with either one of these guys. So anyway, that's all I got for you. I thought that was a fun comparison because they both, you know, are pretty similar, and, you know, both in build, style of ski, and quality. I think the Blizzard's $750 and this guy is $700. So price is pretty similar. You know, you might even just choose by graphic. This is the current graphic. This is 2 years ago graphic. The new graphic of this is, what is it, like blue, yellow, and pink. I don't know, it's a little flashier, a little brighter looking, but it's the same exact ski. So anyway, you guys should check these things out and try them out for yourself, because they are an absolute blast. And, you know, you will probably find it hard to pick from the two skis because they're both such a fantastic ski. So try these things out and let me know what you think. But anyways, that's it. So like and subscribe below, and if you want to hear more of these kind of things, let me know in the comments, and we'll talk to you soon. I'm Nathan. This is Hallway Ski Reviews. Stay on the edge. I would warn you on the footage. The footage is pretty weird because I did do a leg workout a couple days prior to doing this video shot, and my legs were so tired and so cooked when I was skiing these, so I'm a little floppy and a little all over there, but you know, as a comparison, you know, you're still seeing me ski both of these skis on the same day. So for what it's worth, hopefully you guys enjoy the footage.
Keep your chips up.